Dang, my alarm going off already. I have missed you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's been a long time since I've gone live, but I am ADHD Money Coach B. I talk about mental health as it relates to your money. I am B, the budgeting baddie, and I want to help you guys love yourself back to wealth. And if that is something that you would like to do, drop a one in the comments. Drop a one in the comments and let me know I am trying to love myself back to wealth, okay? If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, we're talking about emotions today. Emotional spending. If you find yourself overspending. Hey, Sarisa, thank you so much for joining. The prompt that I asked for you guys is, when you are stressed out, do you find yourself overspending? And if you do, I think I said drop a one before, but we're going to say two. Drop a two in the comments right now. If you find yourself overspending on days that you are stressed. We're going to talk about why that is, because I want you guys to know that budgeting or managing your money well is mostly not a math problem. Okay? It's not an app problem. It's not a willpower problem. Okay? It's not a discipline problem. Okay? It's not you not wanting to, it's not you being lazy, not being motivated. That's not the problem. Okay? So I want y'all to understand what is going on for the most part when it comes to money management and why your intentions don't be matching your actual behaviors and what that's about. Let me actually switch the side that this is on because I can see already. All right, bet. All right. So tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You had a bad day. So you hit Target. You got in an argument. Actually, no. You didn't hit Target because should none of us be in Target right now. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay? You had a bad day and you went someplace, but it wasn't Target. Okay? Okay? If you know, you know. But you had a bad day. Okay? So you got an argument. Maybe you order DoorDash. Or you're anxious about money, so you avoid looking at it at all. Right? Or you started doom scrolling on TikTok and found yourself in a TikTok shop. Sound familiar? No? Yes. You found yourself in a TikTok shop, right? Stressed, anxious? Let me check over here in Facebook land. YouTube land. Yes. It's not just me. You found yourself stressed and anxious, right? You got an argument with somebody and it led you directly to the store. Directly to the store with your debit card. All right? Some of y'all ain't gonna tell the truth, but I'm gonna tell the truth, okay? Okay? I've been pissed off into shopping, okay? I've done that before. I've been there, okay? Am I the only one? No, you? Okay, so, again, tell me if this sounds familiar. If it's you, say it's you in the comments, okay? You had a bad day. You did not hit Target because we're not going there, right? But you did hit up DoorDash, right? You did get the TikTok shop. You did start doom scrolling and found yourself ordering some randomness off of the Amazon, off of the Temu, off of the wherever, right? You went into Home Goods and found yourself some new home decor, right? You did that, okay? You were angry. You went and you immediately was like, let me get out the house. Matter of fact, I'm going out. I'm getting dressed. I'm getting a new outfit. You know that Martin stand. I want to say it's like Run Tell That. I can't remember which special it is. Martin Lawrence. He had a special. He was talking about the girl, the guy, and them. You know, her getting mad at him, and she's like, when she go out with her girls, when she pissed off, like she got her F dress, right? And this is where Beyonce's freakum dress comes from. In my opinion, I really never heard of the idea of like a freakum dress or FM dress. And so Martin Lawrence, which was years before Beyonce came out and dropped that song, but she talked about that, right? So she got this dress that just feels like she about to kill him, right? Oh, sorry. Can I say that on unalive? Whatever. She about to, She about to make him regret. She about to pull a Cardi. She about to be like, I'm outside. So she go get dolled up. She get her favorite dress. She outside now, right? So how much money did she spend to get outside to make him feel away, right? She went out, she got her hair done. She got her eyebrows done. She got a new outfit, some new shoes, right? Smell good, got a little drinks, right? How much money did she spend to get her lick back? How much money did she spend to get her lick back? Okay? How much money did she spend to get her lick back? Right? Because she was mad at that man. And because she was mad at that man and she wanted to get her lick back, and she was like, I'm about to get a freaking dress, I'm about to get outside, I'm about to stun on him, right? She blew her budget. She let that man piss her off enough to blow her budget up. That's emotional spending, okay? But it doesn't always look like that. So the point of me telling you this is that 95% of our thoughts are subconscious. I know you guys are probably feeling like there's so many people who come to me, they're like, I'm just bad at budgeting, right? I'm just bad, right? Or we feel like we didn't get financial literacy in school, and we didn't, and we should have, right? And that contributes to some of these things, but it's not a lack of knowledge. I coach gifted Black women with ADHD. These women are smart. They have remarkable careers, right? They were the top of their class. They were in gifted and talented classes. Like, they're smart. They're smart women. This isn't a lack of capacity, a lack of knowledge. They're also hardworking. They're not lazy women. These women, they're probably they taking care of themselves and they take care of other people. Everybody depends on them, right? They're not lazy women. They probably got a job and a side hustle, okay? I'm not talking about women who don't want to work. I'm not talking about women who aren't smart, right? Y'all are brilliant, okay? Y'all are brilliant. Y'all work hard, right? The reason why your spending is not aligning with your money, with your bank balance, is because of your emotions. 95% of your thoughts are subconscious. That means that most of your choices aren't rational choices, they're emotional choices. Okay? There are studies that show that when you're in a heightened state of emotion, you spend up to 15% more than you would. Every time you're in a heightened state of emotion, you're going to spend 15% more than you normally would. Okay? So when you're stressed, your body is literally redirecting energy away from the logical decision-making part of your brain. And that's why it's harder to plan or think ahead. You're not broken. You're human. You're not broken. You're human. Okay. Our brains are, first of all, let me start by talking about the nervous system. Okay. You have two parts of your nervous system, right? You have your parasympathetic nervous system. And forgive me if I'm nerding out. And your sympathetic nervous system. Okay. How many guys are familiar with the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic, right? Let me know in the comments. Have you heard anything about these two nervous systems before? I know I'll be having some nurses in here, some people who've been in the medical field a little bit, right? Are you familiar with the nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system? These are all things that I have learned while in therapy, friends. While in therapy, I have learned. And then, of course, I coach Black women with ADHD, so I have been like nerding out, studying the brain and things like that more and more. But it started off learning about it in therapy, right? You guys are familiar with the nervous system? So, okay, so let me tell you guys what the nervous system does, and then I'm gonna help you guys make the connection to the money, okay? I'm gonna tell you how these parts of your body work, and then I'm gonna help make the connection to money, because I want you to understand why you're not doing the things you want to do with your money. Why every year you set a vision, you do a vision board, you set goals, you say, I'm gonna start doing this, and then you don't do it. I'll help you understand why you're not doing it, why your actions aren't lining up. Okay. When I work with clients, I do not start them off with looking at their numbers and their budget, right? I don't start them off with that part. Why? Because it's counterproductive if we don't get this part straight. This part I'm about to teach y'all today. It's counterproductive. So your nervous system, two parts, right? You've got your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system are the groups of nerves that run up your spine, right? The spine. They make you stand erect, right? Your spine. Those nerves are designed to activate the fight, flight, freeze. They're your survival system. Okay. When you are stressed, when you're anxious, when you're in danger, your brain senses that there is danger there. It activates that part of your brain because it wants to protect you. Your brain does not care at all about your financial goals. It does not care about your personal goals. It doesn't care about your romantic or relational goals. It wants to keep you safe. Okay. So if it perceives danger, right? Danger could look like mail coming in your mailbox, right? If you get mail and you're worried that it's a bill and that makes you feel anxious, your sympathetic nervous system will be activated. It's going to be like danger. It's going to be a bill in there. It's going to stress you out. Don't do it. Don't open it. So you're going to avoid your mail. You're going to avoid checking your email. You're going to avoid answering that call from that unknown number because your parasympathetic nervous system is flashing like this is a dangerous activity. Avoid it. That's why we don't have uncomfortable conversations, because our brain is like, danger, danger. That sympathetic nervous system is like, fight, flight, freeze. Let's do those. Fawn. Fight, fight, freeze, fawn. Okay? And so what happens is, to activate that, your body starts to shut down parts of the body that it thinks is not vital. It's like, we need to keep you alive. So we're going to slow down your heart rate. We're going to do all these things to try to keep you alive because we want you to be still. If you need to be really quiet so a predator doesn't see you, because it thinks it's a predator, okay? It thinks the bill is a predator. And the bill is a predator, okay? It's not wrong, okay? But this is what it thinks. It thinks you're literally being attacked and being chased, okay? And so it's like, shut that part down. And we also don't need this critical thinking part of your brain, because we don't need that. We just need you to be quiet, run, have all the energy you need to run. It wants to conserve your energy for survival. Okay. So the very part of your brain that you need to organize and plan and think critically about money is being shut down when you're triggered. Of course, you're not making good decisions with money. Of course you're not, because you're emotional. You're emotional. Of course you're not. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, tack onto that, having ADHD. We're already struggling with that part of our brain on a regular day. So tack on having a heightened sense of emotion being triggered and having ADHD. Oh, you really struggling up in here. Okay. So those emotions are making it harder for you to make critical decisions. So what do we do? How do we resolve this? Because you're not going to stop feeling things. You're not going to stop having situations that are going to trigger you. People still going to be pissing you off today. If you turn on the news, you're going to be pissed off immediately, okay? Right? You're going to have moments at work where people annoy you. You're going to lose loved ones, unfortunately, and it's going to make you sad. You're not going to be able to turn that part of yourself off, and you shouldn't, right? So you can't avoid having moments of emotions. So how do we avoid emotional spending when we know that our emotions are going to drive us to spend more frequently? Okay. So it's not about not having emotions. It's more about being able to recognize that you're having the emotion, learning how to regulate your emotions, right? So it's not about not experiencing it at all. It's about how long you sit in that emotion, right? So if I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm feeling anxious and I'm having an anxiety attack, this happens to me. I know that I need to calm my nervous system. First of all, I need to be aware that I'm feeling this way. And I need to acknowledge the fact that I am physically safe. My body, my brain needs to know that you are not in danger. And so here are some things that you can do to calm your nervous system whenever you are feeling overwhelmed. Okay. So first thing is, put your hand over your chest. And I want you guys to try this with me. Okay. Put your hand over your chest right now. And then just take 3 deep breaths. Notice the change in your body when you just did that, right? Even if you're not feeling anxious right now, taking a deep breath, you can feel the difference in your body when you take a deep breath. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, especially if you got to make a financial decision, first do your best to calm your nervous system as best as you can. So you're going to do 3 deep breaths. The next thing you want to do is you want to give your brain some context. The reason why your body feels like you're feeling that sensation of overwhelm or angst, a lot of times it's like your body does not know that you're okay. It's like you're feeling anxious and you need context for it. So to literally describe what your body is feeling right now to help your brain make sense of it so it can start to calm you down. So you can say to yourself, right, your heart is beating, you're feeling tension or tightness in your chest, you're feeling a little dewy, you feel a little tension in your shoulders. Your brain will start to calm down just understanding what's going on. So describe what's happening in your body. Okay, take the deep breaths. Okay, and then I want you, if you can, I want you to write down what you're feeling, write down where you're feeling it. And this is going to be an important habit for you to have so you can start to journal and recognize patterns. What are the things that make me feel like this? And what are the feelings that I'm having specifically? So not everybody are emotional spenders when they're angry. Some people are emotional spenders when they're scared. Some people are more emotional spenders when they're happy, right? They get in a whole new relationship, they got a new boo, and now they like, ooh, or they move to a new house and they're excited about the new home and they're feeling this heightened sense of emotion. And so they've lost all inhibition. They need to know which emotions they're most prone to spending. You need to know yourself, right? For some people, when they feel grief, they're less likely to spend because they tend to shut down. But for others, they're more likely to spend because they want to distract themselves from the feeling of grief. So I want you to start journaling what specifically is going on in your life. When you started feeling those emotions, like, is there anything you can pinpoint? You may not have the answer right away, but as you start to do this practice, you're going to start to notice some patterns. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad this is helping you out. I'm glad. Thank you so much. See y'all over here in YouTube world. Facebook, if you guys just joined me, I'm ADHD Money Coach B. I talk about mental health as it relates to your money. My goal is to help you guys learn how to love yourself back to wealth. And so what we're talking about today is emotions and money, because nothing I can teach you practical about money will matter if you do not understand the importance of understanding how your mind, your heart, your emotions, and your body connect your daily spending behaviors. Okay? It will not matter. I can teach you all the things in the world, but if you are depressed, you will not be able to activate any of that education in real time. You will shut down. I have clients who are doctors. I have clients who are accountants. I have clients who are therapists. Okay. I have clients who work in the financial industry, right? People who know what to do, both the neurological stuff and the money stuff, right? When you're feeling triggered, it is hard to activate what you know how to do on paper because your brain is shutting this part of your brain down to protect you because you're in fight, flight, freeze. So we were talking about the nervous system. So that's your sympathetic nervous system that runs up your spine. It's designed to protect you. It's doing its job. So don't feel like you're failing if you were triggered and you're like, why did I blow all this money? Don't be mad at yourself. Your brain was doing its job. Now, do we want to find a way to avoid those behaviors in the future? Absolutely. But the judgment that you guys have on yourselves, the way y'all beat yourselves up, friend, we're not doing that no more. Okay? We're not doing that in 2025. Okay? Are we okay? Say yes, friend. Let me know. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The other nervous system. So we talked about the sympathetic nervous system, right? Think about it as like actually, I feel like the parasympathetic is easier illustration to understand. So your parasympathetic nervous system, this goes all over your body, right? Our brain is crazy, like it's amazing. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the way I like to think about that is like a parachute. That's how I remember. So you think about a parachute, you pull your parachute, and what does it do? It slows you down. It slows things down. It helps you to be able to calm. It is your calming response system. So your sympathetic is your stress response, and your parasympathetic is your calming response. How can we calm? How can we activate our parachutes? How can you pull your parachute and calm yourself down so you can make good financial decisions? I already explained to you one way is to do some breathing exercises, journaling, but there's so many other ways. Coloring, talking to a friend, singing, humming, honestly, a good cry. Sometimes you just need a good cry, a good scream in a pillow. Good scream in the bathtub. Been there, done that. Okay. Talking to a therapist. Okay. There's lots of things that you can do to calm your nervous system down, and they don't even cost you nothing. Okay. Take a break, go for a walk. If you're at work, go for a walk before you end up going off and losing your job. That's a financial decision. Okay. The decision to go off on your boss, that's a financial decision. Okay. It don't sound like budgeting, but it is. All right. So I want to give y'all a quick little homework assignment while we're in the middle of this. Okay. I want you guys to think about the last 3 things that you bought that you regretted buying. I want you to think about the last 3 things you bought that you regretted buying. I want you to tell me, you don't have to tell me, but I really want you to tell yourself inside your journal. You're welcome to tell me though, drop it in the comments. What emotions were you experiencing when you bought that thing? What emotions were you experiencing when you bought that thing? Were you bored? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you mad? What emotions? Okay. And I want you to start developing the habit. Anytime you buy something that you have buyer's remorse about, that you feel like, gosh, I wish I didn't buy this, I want you to try your best to think back and think about what emotion were you feeling? Were you feeling jealousy? Were you feeling a little FOMO? Were you feeling anxious? It doesn't have to be about the thing that you purchased, right? Anxious about anything else. Are you feeling guilty? Sometimes we buy kid stuff that we can't afford to buy. We end up regretting it. We look at our bank account balance and we regret it. And if we think back to it, we probably were feeling guilty about saying no to our kids for whatever reason. And so we are feeling like, shame. There's a myriad of emotions that we might be feeling, right? Think back to those emotions and tell me what emotions you were feeling when you purchased that item that you regret. And then as you continue to do this task of journaling your buyer's remorse, you're going to start to notice which emotions you're most vulnerable with financially. You're going to start to understand which emotions you're most vulnerable with. Those are the emotions that you need support. Okay. Anyway, I am about to wrap up, you guys. I just want to let you guys know that you can get better with money. Each week, I am going to come and teach a different topic. I have a coaching program that is over $3,000. I am literally going to teach you everything in my coaching program that I do one-on-one on live for free. All you got to do is show up, right? You're not going to have no replay for free, but if you show up and take notes, you'll have the education, okay? If you want the replay, you got to invest, right? If you want that one-on-one dynamic, you got to invest. But I believe in sowing seeds, and I am going to sow into you guys every Monday. If you're not following me already, go ahead and hit the follow button. But I'm going to teach you step by step. So this week we're talking about emotions and money. Eventually we're going to get to a point where we start to talk about budgeting, organization, banking systems, like why most people's budgets don't work, because there absolutely is a reason why. I do not understand why money is not taught this way, but I'm going to teach you all of that. But we're not going to get into none of that stuff until we start to get our emotions together. So I gave y'all your homework assignment for the week. Start your journal. I expect y'all to come back with your homework done. Tell me about how it went for you. Tell me about if you've made better decisions, just having more awareness of how your emotions were contributing to your purchase. And even if you don't, I just want you to have awareness around it. Even if you don't make a better decision this week, it's okay. You gotta start somewhere, but you know the situation, and that's what I want for you. Okay. So the first pillar is not math, it's your emotions, okay? We're going to regulate our nervous system. We're going to learn new ways for us to manage our emotions better, and everyone is different, so don't expect that what works for me will work for you. Find your rhythm. Find something that works for you, okay? We're going to take a deep breath before we make purchases to calm our nervous system. Like, we're going to do that, and that's it, okay? So that's it for this week. If you like this, I appreciate you, commenting, sharing the live, following me, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok land. I appreciate it. I love you all. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.